Hi, Doug Franklin with you again, talking about no filter, talking about lesson number 3, seeing others clearly. Lesson 1, we talked about seeing God clearly. Lesson 2, we talked about seeing ourselves clearly. And now in lesson 3, we're talking about seeing others clearly. I sometimes joke with my friends that my spiritual gift is judgment, and we all laugh about it. It's kind of funny, right? But you know what? There's a lot of judgment in me, and it's something that I have to confess often to the Lord. And the Lord is working on me on this. And so I tell you, this lesson right here hits me really hard because I know I can judge others very quickly. So the problem that we're facing is that oftentimes we think about others in terms of, are they better than me or are they worse than me? That's how we think. We're human. We have a sinful nature. We think that way. And that leads us into a lot of judgment. It's really quite bad, actually. And so we've got to be careful that we don't look at other people and make that judgment call because it leads us down a very bad road. Also, too, is we assume that work makes us better than others. Like, we went on the missions trip this year. We did all the retreats at church. We have good attendance at church. We must be better than other people, right? We don't get to heaven because of our works. We get to work because we're going to heaven. I think that's a Max Lucado quote. I've always loved that quote. I'm not working to get to heaven. I get to work for God because he's already loved me and redeemed me, and I love him, and I want to serve him. So we got to be really careful. Don't judge others about whether or not they're better than worse than us, and don't thinking that our works are going to get us there. Here's the truth. Every human is made in God's image. Truth is also God offers salvation to everyone who believes, and we're all in the same sinking boat, right? But some of us have grabbed the life raft that God has given us, and we have fallen in love with him because of his goodness towards us. And we want other people who are in the sinking boat to get a life raft, right? We want them to know God. But if we make judgments about us being better than them or worse than them, we can tend to forget that God loves them and has a plan to save them through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Okay? Here's the key verse in this lesson. It's James 2, 1-4. Let me read it to you. My brothers, show no partiality as you hold the faith in Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory. For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothes comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothes also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothes and say, you sit here in this good place, while you say to the poor man, you stand there, or sit down at my feet, have you not made distinctions among yourself and become judges with evil thoughts? With evil thoughts. Yeah, we make judgments all the time. And, it's funny that James talks about them coming into our church and us making this judgment. He's not talking about work or the secular world or anything else. He's talking about our assembly. He's talking about our churches. We make this judgment in our churches. We can't do that. When we have a clear view of ourselves as in being in great need of God, we will create a clear view of others who also have that great need of God, and we will become passionate about evangelism. So this lesson is really essential for our students, and I think this is something they struggle with because I know I struggle with it, and I bet you do too. Let's help them understand God's love. It's easy to play favorites, especially at church. Let's not do that. We're called to refrain from passing judgment and showing partiality, and let's have a clean heart towards everybody, that we offer everybody the exact same truth about Jesus, that he loves them and that he wants them in their family. I hope lesson 3 is really impactful. It may be one where you ask students to do a time of confession, or maybe you challenge students to name out some of the things that they judge other people on so that they can begin to internalize this and can begin to bring it to God and ask for forgiveness. This is a great lesson. Go deep with your students here. Thanks for watching.